Here we are with Terry Pratchett's The Color of Magic. In a distant and second-hand set of dimensions, in an astral plane that was never meant to fly, see, great Atuan the turtle comes swimming through the interstellar gulf. Through sea-sized eyes, he stares fixedly at the destination. In a brain bigger than a city, he thinks only of the weight. Most of the weight, of course, accounted for by Beryllia, Tubal, Great Typhon, and Jerakeen, on whose star-tanned shoulders the disk of the world rests. Astropsychology has, as yet, unable to establish what they think about. The disk is garlanded by the long waterfall at its vast circumference, and doomed by the baby blue vault of heaven. See, we can see the 4 elephants there, gathered round, standing on the back of the turtle. The great turtle was a mere hypothesis until the day the small and secretive kingdom of Krull lowered several observers over the edge. Looks like a little teapot there, but that's a building where they put people down and lower them down over the edge. To peer through the mist veils. The early astrozoologists were able to bring back much information about the shape and nature of Atuan and the elephants, but this did not resolve the fundamental questions about the nature and purpose of the universe. For example, what was Atuan's actual sex? The hub of the Discworld is never closely warmed by the weak sun, and the lands there are locked in permafrost. The Rim, on the other hand, is a region of sunny islands and balmy days. There are 8 days in a disk week, and 8 colors in its light spectrum. 8 is a number of some considerable occult significance on the disk. Oh my, lots going on here. Precisely why all this should be so is not clear, but it does go some way to explain why, on the disk, the gods are not so much worshipped as they are blamed. The twin city of Ankh-Morpork, of which all other cities of time and space are, as it were, mere reflections. Proud Ankh and pestilent Morpork have stood many assaults in their long and crowded twin history, and have always risen to flourish again. So the fire and a subsequent flood that will happen soon will not mark its end, but rather a merely fiery punctuation mark, a coal-like comma, or a salamander semicolon in a continuing story. Oh my, what's going on here? Lots of stuff going on here. Several days prior to the fire, a ship came up the river Ankh and fetched up on the Morpork shore. It carried a cargo of pink pearls, milk nuts, some official letters for the patrician of Ankh, and a man. Well, there's a man dressed in pink. He's got a silly hat on, and that chest belongs to him. Grippewa, gold! Huh? Emor! It says here he's blind. Good day to thee, sire. Ah! Looks like he's hello. What? I wish to be directed to an hotel, tavern, loving house, inn, hospice, caravanserai. What, all of them? Huh? It's a gold coin. I know a good tavern. Is that enough? I would like to be directed to an hotel, place of repose, tavern. Yeah, alright, come on then. Emor will probably give me a good reward once I get him to the broken drum. And none too soon. There's something odd about him. What is... It's all these little feet, bunch of little tiny feet on that treasure chest. odd. He had this big wooden chest, Emor. He'd have to be a merchant or a spy. What do you think, Withel? I've checked on that ship. It's a freelance trader. Does runs to the Brown Islands. People there are savages. They don't understand about spies, and I expect that they eat merchants. Ah, our message from Gorin the Cat. He's stationed on the Gong Tower of the Temple of Small Gods. Hugh has taken our stranger to the Broken Drum. Gorin must have been a customer there recently, for he writes of a box on legs. He'll be disciplined. Damn, he owed me 3 copper pieces. I think we'll wander along to the drum later on, Withel. How can a book tell a man what to say? And what the hell's that? Just don't talk about it, Broadman. I wish for accommodation, a room, lodgings, the lodging house, full board, are your rooms clean, a room with a view? What is your rate for one night? All eyes in the Broken Drum at that moment watched the stranger, except for a pair belonging to Rincewind, the wizard. Some might have taken him for a mere apprentice who had run away from his master out of defiance, boredom, and a lingering taste for heterosexuality. Yet he wears the bronze octagon of the Unseen University, the high school of magic on the disc. Rincewind was staring at the luggage. Sapient pearwood! An archmage, by dint of great effort, might someday obtain a small staff made from the timber of a sapient pear tree. It grew only on the sites of ancient magic. Rincewind tried to calculate its value. A vein began to throb in his forehead. May I be of assistance? I have an innate gift for languages. Shove off, Rincewind! Food. Cutlet, hash, stew, ragout, fricasse, sorbet, souffle, sausage, not to have a sausage, jelly, jam. I only thought I might be useful to address this gentleman in his own tongue. Rincewind tried a few words of Chimeran. Oh, looks very silly text there. He switched to High Borogravian. Vengelmesht. Even Black Orugu, a language with no nouns and only one adjective, which is obscene. In desperation, he tried Heathen Trob. At last, my good sir, this is remarkable. Or in Trob, remarkable means a thing which may happen but once in an unusable lifetime of a canoe hollowed diligently by axe and fire from the tallest tree on the slopes of Mount Ayayaya, home of the fire gods, or so it is said. Oh, they don't have a very good word for remarkable, then. Broadman, 2 mugs of your best ale, please. You can understand him? Tell him he's very welcome. Tell him breakfast is 1 gold piece. I'll throw in yours, too. And it looks like he's speaking his native tongue. Stranger, if you stay here, you will be knifed or poisoned by nightfall. But don't stop smiling, or so will I. Oh, come now, this looks like such a delightful place. A genuine Morporkian tavern, so reasonable and so quaint. But the word quaint meaning the nearest equivalent in Trob would be that pleasant oddity of design found in the little coral houses of the sponge-eating pygmies of the Orahai Peninsula. Looks like they don't have a good word for quaint either. My name is Two-Flower. Mine is Rincewind. Ah, the so typical beer. A small gold piece will be sufficient payment. I do not want to cause offense. I mean, no, it won't cause offense. Meaning, it seems like 1 gold piece is very valuable here. You say that this place... It looks like it's a very dark room now. You say that this place is a tough place, frequented by heroes and mercenaries? Warriors who fight for the tribe with the most milk... What could he mean? Oh, mercenaries! Yes, you wish to hire some? Oh, no, I just wish to meet them, so that when I get home I can say that I did it. Where is your home? Have you heard of the city of Bespelargic? Well, I didn't spend too much time in Trob, and Oh, it's not in Traub. I speak Traub because there are many Petrobi sailors in our ports. Bespalargic is the major seaport of the Agatean Empire. Huh! The counterweight continent. He's very surprised. Meanwhile, 3 streets away. Well, is it genuine? Well, it depends on how you define the term. If you mean this is the same as, say, a $50 piece, then the answer is no. I knew it. Wait, perhaps I'm not making myself clear. This person is giving... He must know the value of the coin. You see, what with that one thing and another, our coinage has been somewhat watered down over the years. The gold content of our average coin is barely 4 parts in 12. Yeah, what of it? I said this coin isn't like ours. It's pure gold. Woo! We took the coin with him. Look at that. He ran so fast with that gold coin. Now we're back to our oddly clothed friend. So I decided to see for myself. And here I am. Ankh Morpork. I just couldn't stand sitting in a desk all day. 2 flower, I thought, it's now or never. So I compiled a phrase book and bought passage to the Brown Islands. Is everyone in the Agatean Empire as rich as you? Me? Rich? I am but a poor clerk. Whatever gave you the idea that I was rich? You have, gold. Barely 2,000, Renu. Hardly enough to keep a man alive for a month or 2 at home. An idea occurs to me. Rincewind, would you consent to be employed as guide? I think I could afford to pay a Renu a day, or 1.5 Renu. Can I show you to your room, sir? Oh, it's the innkeeper. He's very excited for a man with pure gold. Rincewind was to call back at noon to show 2 flower around the city. And there he is. He's looking at those gold coins. He's thinking about what to do. 2 flower had insisted on paying his first 4 days' wages in advance. As a student, Rincewind had never received high marks in precognition, but now, unused circuits in his brain were throbbing out the future. The space between his shoulder blades began to itch. The sensible thing to do would be to buy a horse, but what will happen to 2 flower alone in a city where even the cockroaches have an unerring instinct for gold? A man would have to be a real heel to leave him. That's not a good thing. A man would have to be a very bad person to leave him all alone. The hub gate, you say? Uh-oh, looks like Rincewind made a bad decision. It is rumored that the entire wing of the Patrician's Palace is filled with clerks who collate and update all the information collected by their master's superb spy network. Rincewind did not doubt it. Aye, Lord. We had to shoot the horse before he would stop. Which, by a fairly direct route, brings you here. What have you got to say for yourself? That balcony, a sudden run, a nimble jump, sudden hail of crossbow quarrels. Oh, he's thinking about how to escape. Oath breaking, horse theft, uttering false coinage. Yes, I think it's the arena for you, Rincewind. I didn't steal the horse. Those Renu are pure gold. Those golden coins, Renu, did you say, are not very similar to our dollars. False coinage, technical theft, and of course, the cowardly betrayal of a visitor to this shore. For shame, Rincewind. Please step away from the prisoner. Oh, it's an angry-looking dog. It is said that when a wizard is about to die, Death himself turns up to claim him. Even failed wizards like Rincewind can see into the far octarine end of the spectrum. Octarine is the basic color of which all others are merely shadows. A sort of fluorescent greenish-yellow-purple. Oh, that's an odd color. Was that a flickering shadow in the corner? Of course, I could be merciful. The shadow disappeared. Yes? Now listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. Otherwise, you will die. In an interesting fashion, over a period. Please stop fidgeting. Since you are a wizard of sorts, you will know that there is said to exist towards the far rim of the disk A continent which, though small, is of equal weight to all the mighty landmasses of our hemicircle, and that this, according to legend, is because it is made largely of gold? Who hasn't heard of the counterweight continent? Some sailors have believed the childhood tales and sailed on search of it. It does, of course, exist. It is not made of gold, but gold is very common there. Most of the mass is made up of the vast octahedron deposits deep within the crust. I may as well tell you, Rincewind, that there is some slight contact between the lords of the Circle Sea and the Emperor of the Agatean Empire. Oh, look, this looks like such a lovely place. There is little common ground between us. We have nothing they want, and they have nothing we can afford. So we exchange fraternal greetings by albatross mail at infrequent intervals. Looks like they don't talk too much, but they're friendly. One such letter arrived this morning. A subject of the Emperor has taken in his head to visit our city. Only a madman would undergo the privations of crossing the Turnwise Ocean in order to merely look at anything. However, oh look, it's our friend. He landed this morning. He might have met a great hero or some wise sage. He met you. You will see that he returns home with a good report of our little homeland. What do you say to that? Thank you, Lord. It would be a tragedy should anything untoward happen to our visitor. The Agatean Emperor looks after his own and could extinguish us with a nod. But in the weeks before the Agatean fleet arrived, my servants would occupy themselves about your person, in the hope that the avenging captain's anger might be tempered by the sight of your still living body, be it ever so abused. But I see you understand. Yes, Lord, I'll look after him and see nothing comes no harm. And then I'll get a job juggling snowballs in hell. Well, it looks like Rincewind has pretty low expectations of this working out. There he is, running really fast. There's danger. Probably a lucky throw. They all seem too busy to notice me. Oh, that's a big brawl. Luckily, in the raging gloom, no one seemed to notice a shadowy shape that shuffled from table to table towards the stairway. Hey! What? Uh-oh, he threw a dagger. Ah! Asante Kurocha Beelzebub! Wizardry! Hold on, Two Flower, I'm coming! He's sleeping through all of that noise. You mean there was a tavern brawl and you didn't wake me? You want to see a fight? Yes, what's wrong with that? Well, for a start, people get hurt. Oh, I wasn't suggesting we get involved. I just wanted to meet some of your famous heroes. You do have some, don't you? Oh yeah, we have them all right. It's just that they tend to be suicidally gloomy when sober and homicidally insane when drunk. Well, I'd at least like to record a record of this event. This won't take a moment. I'd like you in the picture too. I expect you to know what this is. Not wholly. It's a device for making pictures quickly. Smile. It's easy to operate. All you do is press this button. Ugh, I don't think it looks very like me. Now I'll stand over here and you can take one of me. It looks like he's holding up his robes. He looks silly. Some time later, after lunch and wine had done much to relax Rincewind. Tavern fights are pretty common around here, I expect? No doubt the fixtures and fittings get damaged. Oh, I see, the benches and whatnot. Yeah, I suppose so. I might be able to help there. Risks are my business. You take risks? Oh no, I assess them. Do you know what the odds are of a house catching fire in the Red Triangle district of Bez Pelargic? 538 to 1. I calculated that. What's for? Oh, excuse me. What for? For, I can't say in Traub. In my language, we call it in sewer ants. Oh, it sounds like insurance. I work out the odds against bad things happening, add a little bit, and then you pay me some money based on those odds. Then, if something bad does happen, I reimburse you. I don't understand this insurance magic now. Magic. Now, magic I understand. Well, magic is one thing, and reflected sound of underground spirits is another. Reflected sound of underground spirits? Never heard of it. Two-Flower tried to explain. Rincewind tried to understand. In the long afternoon, Rincewind and Two-Flower toured the city, turnwise of the river. At the Temple of Seven-Handed Sek, the priest and ritual heart transplant artisans agreed that Sek was far too holy to be made into a magic picture. As the fumes cleared from his brain, Rincewind began to speculate seriously as to how the iconograph worked. As a payment of 2 Rhinu left them astounded, agreeing that perhaps he wasn't that holy after all. He soon took every opportunity to operate the box. So there they are, hanging out with like these barbarian people, taking a picture with a lovely statue, taking a picture of a duel. There he is, meeting some animals. Looks like a zoo. There he is. Looks like he met a butcher making sausages and hot dogs. A prolonged session at the adult tavern produced a number of colorful and instructive pictures, several of which Rincewind concealed about his person to look at later. Oh, look at that picture over there. It looks like there's some sort of... Oh, that was at the duel. Oh, see, there was the duel over here with the man in green. Here he is over here. It looks like he won. Even a failed wizard knew that some substances were sensitive to light. Perhaps the square bits of paper were treated by some arcane process that froze the light that passed through them. He noticed something else strange. Possession of the box conferred a kind of power on the wielder. Anyone confronted with the hypnotic glass eye would submissively obey the most peremptory commands about stance and expression. It was while thus he engaged in the plaza of this broken moon that disaster struck. Oh. Click. It's no good. I've run out of pink. Is that the camera talking? Oh, look, it's a little man inside. No pink, see? If you wanted pink, then you shouldn't have taken all those pictures of the young ladies, should you? It's monochrome from now on, friend, alright? Yeah, alright, sure. Two-Flower? Two-Flower? What? Turn without haste, or kiss your kidneys goodbye. Looks like someone has a sword at his back. Hi, Withel. Well, it looks like people are going inside of his chest. I know you, a gutter wizard. What is that thing? This? It makes pictures. Smile now. What? That's fine. Hold it just like that. Ah! Bye. Oh, there he goes. He's running away. Oh, he's running really fast. That looks like a giant cockroach. Oh, he's running. Oh! Trapped! Unbidden, the spell welled in his mind. It is perhaps untrue to say that Rincewind had learned the spell. It had learned him. The episode had led to his expulsion from the Unseen University because, for a bet, he had dared to open the last remaining copy of the Creator's own grimoire. The Octavo. The spell had leapt out of the page and burrowed deeply into Rincewind's mind, from whence the combined talents of the Faculty of Medicine had been unable to coax it. Precisely which of the spells it was, they were unable to determine, except that it was one of the 8 basic spells. The basic spells that were intricately interwoven into the fabric of time and space itself. Oh, it looks like he's concentrating really hard. Since then, it had been showing a worrying tendency when Rincewind was especially run down or threatened to get itself said. Whoop! Crash! Screech! The spell died unsaid. Shoo! You've got the wrong man! I didn't kidnap him! It won't stop until you give in, you know. You're a wizard. You'll think of something to find him. Not much of a wizard. I only know one spell. And frankly, no spells are much good. It takes 3 months to commit even a simple spell to memory, and then once you've used it, it's gone. When Two Flowers said they had a better kind of magic called reflected sound of underground spirits, I thought he meant a better way of doing things. Something with a bit of sense in it. Harnessing lightning, I suppose. Even if you could get a harness on it, how could you get it to pull a cart? It'd probably burn through the harness anyway. Alright, I'm thinking. You fret too much, Withel. The wizard will come. He's too much of a coward not to. He'll try to bargain, and we'll have him, and the gold, and the chest. Who'd have thought there was that much sapient pearwood on the whole disc? Odd. He doesn't seem to realize the seriousness of his position. What was all that about, Broadman? I'm not really sure. It's a sort of bet, see? In sewer ants, it's like a bet that the broken drum won't burn down. This worm-eaten tinderpile? He must be mad. They must have taken him to the broken drum. I'll have to... Oh, watch where you're going. Rincewind. Looks like death. We remember death from the movie, right? It has been remarked before that those who are sensitive to octarine, the pigment of the imagination, can see things that others cannot, like death. I'm surprised to see thee, Rincewind, for I have an appointment with thee this very night. Oh no, not... The vexing thing is that I was expecting to meet thee in Persepolis, 500 miles from here. There's no chance that you could... I could lend you a fast horse. Not a chance. The whole system's got screwed up again. Oh, forget you then. Oh well. On to the broken drum. Meanwhile, in the basement of the broken drum, in Shuarant's humph. Lamp oil. Uh-oh, looks like he's preparing to set his inn on fire to collect the insurance money. What? Uh-oh. There's our friend. Gold! It's a trick! Nobody move! The box that bites! Ah, run for it! Look out! Oh, whacked him over the head with a bag of gold. Thud. Oh, exciting, isn't it? Can you smell oil? The Wintershire Gate is the nearest. Come on! Oh, my luggage! Forget your luggage. Stay here and you'll go where you won't need luggage. It's terrible. We were getting along so well. Getting along? A great bunch of fellows. It'll be a blow with his broadman. He just paid for his first premium. You insured the broken drum? Oh, yeah, standard valuation. Why do you ask? You... Rincewind searched his memory for the worst word in Traub tongue. The happy little betrobee didn't really know how to swear properly. You little... Such as a one, while wearing a copper nose ring, stands in a bath atop Mount Raruharaha during a thunderstorm and shouts that the goddess of lightning has made facial features of a diseased Ulhurut. Just doing my job. Let's get out of here! The timbers of the Wunderschen's gate were already on fire when Rincewind reached them. Mounts hadn't been hard to find. A wily merchant had asked 50 times their worth and had been left gaping when 1,000 times their worth had been pressed into his hands. Ankh Morpork was already a cauldron of flame. It looks like our friend there is passed out on a horse and Rincewind has a second horse with them. Ooh. Ah, bloody hell, he's still alive. Oh, me too. Who would have thought? Perhaps there is something in this reflected sound of underground spirits. Ah, that's such a cumbersome phrase. What's the word in his language? Ecrolix? Econothics? Economics. That'll do. That sounds about right. Here's another fine mess you've gotten me into. Next, the gods roll dice. Our heroes meet Haroon, the barbarian. Even worse, they meet Bel Shamroth, the render of souls. It's all in the Sending of 8. And that is part 1 of The Color of Magic.